Okay, this is part 2 of our video on standard form. We're going to talk about why do we use standard form. On our last video, we kind of talked about how we can go back and forth between standard form and slope-intercept form. But now let's talk about what's the purpose of it. Why would we even use it? Okay, so what was the standard form that we're talking about? What's that formula look like? Good. AX plus BY equals C. All right, we can use this formula to find an x-intercept and a y-intercept. And we can use that information to make a pretty quick sketch of a graph. Okay, so let's look at our graph that we've given over here. What is an x-intercept? That's the point where it crosses our x-axis. So this graph, I see an x-intercept here at -2, 0. Okay? What about our y-intercept? We talked about that last time. Our y-intercept is where it crosses our y-axis. And I see on this graph one right here at the point 0, 3. So what do you notice? I set up here we need to find our x-intercept. What do you notice about this ordered pair? Okay, it's always going to be some number, so I'm going to just write the number n, 0, because it's never going to be up or down on our y value. What about our y-intercept? Where will the 0 always be? It's always going to be 0, some number. So if I had a y-intercept all the way down here, maybe my line went like this, okay? It's going to be 0 because it doesn't move on our x-plane, this number, which is -4. Okay? Note that these both have 0 as their x's. So when we're trying to find the x-intercept in our equation, we're always going to plug in 0 for our y. For the y-intercept, we're always going to plug in 0 for our x. Alright, so let's try a couple and see if we can sketch them. Alright, our first graph that we have here, our practice graph, is the equation 2x plus 4y equals 8. And this is standard form, okay? We have ax, some number times x, plus by, a number times y, equals c, which is another number, okay? So when we look at this, we need to find our x-intercept. So let's look back for our x-intercept. We plug in 0 for y. Okay? So if I was trying to solve this, I would say 2x plus 4 times 0, because our y is going to equal 0, equals 8. Alright, well, what's 0 times any number? It's just 0, right? So I could just say 2x equals 8. I don't need to say plus 0, okay? Can I solve now for x? What do I have to do? I need to divide by my coefficient of x. So divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals 4, okay? So I could say my x-intercept is 4. On my graph over here, it would be this point here where x is 4 and y is 0. Or as an ordered pair, 4, 0. Okay, so let's try our y-intercept. How do we find the y-intercept? Well, if we look back, we said to find our y-intercept, we need to plug in 0 for x. Okay, so let's try it over here. We would say 2 times 0, because x is 0, plus 4y equals 8. Well, 0 times any number is 0, so this ends up canceling, and we just get 4y equals 8. How do I solve just to find y? I need to divide both sides by 4. We get y equals 2. Okay? This means on our graph, on the y-axis, where y is positive 2, we have a point. Okay? That point is 0, 2. Now we could make a quick sketch of our graph. So we could draw a line connecting these 2 points. And that would be our line from this linear equation. All right, let's try another one. Remember, for our x-intercept, we know that y is going to equal 0. And for our y-intercept, we know that x is going to equal 0. Let's see if we can graph this equation. All right, 2x plus 3y equals 12. Let's do our x-intercept first. We're going to do 2 times x stays the same, plus 3 times, what's our y? 0, good, equals 12. Okay? 3 times 0 is going to cancel out, because any number times 0 is 0. So now I'm left with 2x equals 12. Can I solve for x? Well, I need to divide both sides by 2. And I get x equals 6. Okay, let's go over to our graph here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to draw another line for reference. Okay, and we'll say over here, where x is 6 is our x-intercept. Now let's try to find our y-intercept. This is when we say x is 0. Okay, for this one, would say 2 times x, or 2 times 0, plus 3y equals 12. Okay, 2 times 0 cancels itself out. It becomes 0. So we're left with 3y equals 12. To solve for y, we need to divide by its coefficient. So both sides need to be divided by 3. We're left with y equals 4. So on our graph, our y-intercept is up here where y is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, can we use this now to draw a quick graph? Sure can. We need to connect our 2 points, our x-intercept and our y-intercept. Alright, I think you guys are getting the hang of it. Let's try our last one. 5x minus 3y equals 15. For our x-intercept, we said y is going to equal 0, right? So let's try it. It would be 5x minus 3 times 0 equals negative 15. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, so we're not going to be subtracting anything from 5x. It'd just be 5x equals negative 15. We divide both sides by 5. X equals 3. Is it positive or negative? Good, negative 3. So over here, where x is negative 3 on our x-axis, I put plate. All right, let's try our y-intercept. This is when x equals 0. Okay? So we would say 5 times 0 minus 3y equals negative 15. Well, 5 times 0, that's going to just be 0. I'm left with negative 3y equals negative 15. So I need to divide both sides by negative 3. And y equals, what's negative 15 divided by negative 3? Good, 5. Okay, where y equals 5 on my y-axis, is up here. That's my y-intercept. Can I make my quick sketch of a graph? I need to go through both points. There's our line.